What's up, everybody? Welcome to We Likey Pod. My name is Kurt. I'm here with the co-hosts Olvi and Cam. How are you boys doing today?
Fantastic.
Gang.
I broke my pinky today, so I'm not doing great.
That ain't good.
And I broke it playing a game with a fifth grader, which sounds weird if you don't know that I'm a youth pastor.
He wrecked you?
So it was a game where you have a cup in between you, and it's the most church game ever. And somebody calls like head, shoulders, knees, cup, and you both go for the cup. And I just went pinky to ground.
Oof.
And I heard it pop, and then it turned blue, and it's all angled off to the side. And it hurts real
Which way
bad.
is it
But
pointing?
other than that, it is pointing.
Pretty straight to me,
I have a
friend.
little cast on it. It's like a little bast. Yeah. Well, I have this splint on it right now. It's like this
Splint it
little
up,
black
baby.
splint that's like wrapped around it. It kind of looks like a cool accessory, but it is in fact keeping it from just not
Is that
working.
Copper Tone?
So-
Is that Brett Favre sponsor?
No, the brand is Finger Sleeve.
Finger sleeves.
A ton of baseball players
that
are about
what
to
you
pick that up. You're about to see that in Omaha at the College World Series. Instead of those sliding gloves, they're going to have finger sleeves on each finger.
Finger sleeves.
I love it. I'd be all
Huge.
in.
More
I'll be
dexterity, you know what I
sponsored.
mean?
We need sponsors. So if Finger Sleeve is listening, we will
We're here
take
for
that
it.
sponsor.
We're here for it.
We'll take it.
Well, speaking of
Take it.
Splint,
How's everyone else's
I have
week
a
going?
story about a young man whose name rhymes with Splint. His name is Flint, Gardner Flint Minshew. And I once broke this little guy, this
One and
little pal here. Look at that little nail.
That digit right there?
I once broke that
Pretty non-existent.
catching a pass in two-hand touch in 7th grade from Gardner Flint Minshew II.
His rocket goes all the way back to then.
I never really told anybody or went to the doctor because I was just really tough.
Yeah.
Unlike
That's fair.
Well known.
others I know.
Tough guy.
But
Yeah, no, that's huge.
it was a sick catch. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I looked down and my pinky was facing a different area code. So
Yeah, you don't want that.
I can look back on that and know I caught a pass from an NFL quarterback and it broke my
He
hand.
did. Yeah, at what cost?
NFL quarterback who has won all of his games with his current team, right? I'm not making
Yeah,
that up.
he started in 1,
I
2.
think he played well. I can't remember if he won or not. Wins don't matter in the NFL, right?
That's true.
Either way, Cameron has said on record he is best friends with Gardner. So,
He just told me.
Put it on the record.
No doubt.
Mulvey, you have the brightest orange hat I've ever seen. For those listening, it is a bright orange hat with the Tide logo,
Yes,
like
sir.
dishwashing.
It's glowing.
Roll Tide.
It is so bright.
I've really gotten into like vintage hats lately. This one, number 1. So, you know.
Where are you going to get vintage hats?
It depends. Technically, this one came off Mercari, so it wasn't like a find, but saw a guy online with one on and had to find it. So, you know. Mercari's like buy and sell stuff, so they got good stuff on there.
Vintage resale is a huge market right now.
It is.
I know a guy who shout out Rap Goods if you're listening to this. Rap Goods, he's a guy I know, but his name's Trevor, and he just goes to Goodwill and he'll get shirts, and they're like maybe $2, $3 shirts. I don't know Goodwill's prices. I'm sure
It's
they're
about $2,
inflated
$3.
now, but yeah, $2, $3, and he does nothing to them, and then he posts them on his website and sells them for like $25.
That's sick.
Just pure profit.
Yeah.
Which, now that I'm saying that, is it illegal to sell clothes from Goodwill?
Probably not recommended. Probably somebody else wants it, but I know a lot of people do it.
Any authorities listening to this? Trevor Rapp is
Come and get him.
RAPP.
One of my
Go
buddies
get it.
had this genius idea that we were gonna sell shrimp, and we were gonna ride to the coast and just buy pounds and pounds of shrimp and bring it back to the mainland and sell it for like $1 more a pound than what we bought it for. And I was like,
Okay.
man, that sounds great. I mean, we're gonna make some money, but like, is it legal to sell like just raw seafood out of the back of your Forerunner? And he was like, I don't know. I guess we need to check into that. It is not legal.
Not legal.
So,
No shot it's legal.
Yeah, but
I do love the
cash up front?
ingenuity. I feel like in high school, for sure, I knew people that were doing things like that. There was a guy who he was obsessed with pressure washing, and how much money he could make because his dad bought a pressure washer and he swore it was going to be his career. I think he might be like a real estate agent now, but he loved pressure washing.
Still
things.
pressure washes his houses before he puts them on the market, huh?
Have you ever watched the pressure washing videos on TikTok?
Yeah, I watch them a lot.
They call it like pressure washing porn.
Those guys are disgusting. You can't pressure wash without getting just moss all over your legs. You look like Groot at the end of it.
There's a guy who like does patios and like walkways, and he has like the chemicals, all that stuff, dude. Love them.
I don't like the circular ones though. I just like the hose pressure washers. The circular ones just reminds me of vacuuming. I don't like it as much.
Vacuuming. Yeah.
It's a wet vacuum.
I'm not that deep into pressure washing.
Yeah, the 720 hoses, and then the I don't know. Yeah,
favorite hose.
Have you seen the ones that they push? It's basically like a pushing pressure washer.
Yeah.
I prefer a riding pressure washer.
Yeah,
Zero turn.
I like a Zamboni myself. I'm all about a Zamboni. I skip the liquid stuff and go straight for the ice.
Insane synchronicity in my life. Somebody else was talking about driving a Zamboni today. This is twice in one day. I live in Owensboro, Kentucky. Nowhere near Zamboni country, and you live in Mississippi.
Opposite.
Definitely.
Zamboni.
I don't know if a Zamboni's ever been in Mississippi outside of the Jackson Generals.
Bandits.
R.I.P. hockey
Jackson
team.
Bandits.
Jackson Bandits.
Yeah, rest in peace to
Who
my
are the
boys.
Generals?
It's a baseball team.
Baseball. They played at Smith Wills, which
Tough.
now looks like Sherbert. They changed the colors, and
painted
now it's
it?
the most colorful baseball stadium in the world.
I won
Huge
a
fan of
baseball tournament there, so shout out.
Monster.
the house that Mulvey built.
That's right.
All right, folks. So last week we hit our we likeys, dislikes. Kind of did them different. This week we're going to try something a little bit new. And for everybody listening, we're playing with format, with structure. So it might seem different episode to episode. We're getting everything hammered out. So today we're going to talk about a couple things, but right now we're going to jump into some we likeys and dislikes, and we're going to start with Mulvihill. Mulvihill, what you got this week?
Okay, mine's pretty simple, but I am passionate about it. So, traffic laws. When people know traffic laws, oof, love it. Especially at four-way stops, okay? You know, I'm pulling up to a four-way stop. I haven't even really started braking yet. And maybe the person on the right side has already completely come to a stop. And they wait for me to come to a stop and then motion me to go. It drives me nuts. But, like, let's say there's multiple people. And at least in Mississippi, this is a law. If you're to the right and you stop at the same time, you go. You know, that's the law, technically. And, you know, when we're all kind of pulling up, and it's a good flow of who's coming and going, you understand that it really does something for me because...
You know, you really find some true cowards at four-way stops. You know what I mean? You can always see who the cowards are at four-way stops. You were there before me by a mile, sir. Why are you waving me on? You're a coward.
Exactly. Like, that's why traffic is terrible, because people don't... They're just waiting for people.
If everybody's playing defense, nobody's scoring, brother. Bear Bryant said that.
That's how I've always said it, too, brother.
Is it not universal law to go to the right at the traffic stop? Like, is that not... You said in Mississippi, but
Shoot, brother.
I learned how to drive in Mississippi. I don't know.
Right. And that's what I'm just saying. For the audience, I don't want them to come for me. I just know where I live is to the right.
That's what I'm saying. In Kentucky, at least at stop signs, I feel like I'm waved on more than ever.
Dude,
and so either it's a bunch of cowards here, which, shout out all Kentucky listeners, I don't personally think you're cowards, most of you, but either it's a bunch of cowards or the law's different, and I just now thought about it and figured it out. So,
and this is also a sidebar. My wife and I get into a tiff about this sometimes. When people just walk across the road, like just the middle of the road, like not a crosswalk, not like a stop sign or stoplight, just the middle of the road.
Yeah, jaywalk.
Exactly. And my wife is like, you have to stop for them. It's a law. And I'm like, no, there is a law about it. It's called jaywalking, and that's legal. So, I mean, I'm not going to hit somebody, but I'm just saying it drives me nuts when they do that.
Real close.
It's the law of natural selection.
Right.
That's the law.
Right.
If you walk out in the road and I run you, the natural selection, you were not meant to make it across.
Nobody's just going to speed up and get close enough for their life to flash before their eyes on their way to Canes.
That's right.
Walking across Hardy
Who's going to
Street.
teach them? You know, somebody's got to learn. Absolutely. Seen people do it. Nuts.
You got a dislike for this week?
Yes, and this one resonates with all of us. I know that you went through this as a young, thick lad, but there were jeans. There were jeans when we were kids that were so disrespectful, bro. It was on another level of disrespect. The fit of the jeans was husky jeans.
That was the
And
brand?
it just ain't nothing ever made me feel. No, that was the fit, and they specifically I know sold them at J.C. Penney's, but they were husky fit. And my boy, that it
Mulvey
just did a
was
number
8
that
years
lasted.
old. He went to go get jeans
Yes.
for the fall at school with his big dog shirt. They were husky jeans.
Dude, all big dog and husky fits, dude. That was it. That was the uniform.
With the freaking
I-
wallabies.
That's right.
You're lying. You said we all went
I
through
thought for
this.
sure
I
you-
want you to know confident. No, I was a skinny child.
Bro.
I was skinny until college. So I wore like a 25 waist
Wow,
in high school. Like I was not.
Came out the womb with a 25.
This is cultivated mass. This is not mass that I was born with.
Fair enough.
I wasn't necessarily meant to be shaped like this. I chose this life unwillingly, but I chose it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, that's
I
good
feel
that
you,
you didn't
Moles,
have
as
to.
a fellow Husk.
And it may have just been a JCPenney thing because I specifically remember it there.
I gotta
But
say,
it
I
is so
never
great.
wandered into a JCPenney in my youth. Yeah,
Oh, really?
It was a lot of
Solid spot,
Old
other
Navy,
than that
TJ Maxx,
Mm-hmm.
Belk.
I don't know where I bought clothes as a child. I'm trying to
You didn't
think
buy
of
any.
any time I ever went. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just got clothes.
rich
I was
little
given
boy.
clothes.
You
Pressure
you
wash.
never
Never
got to
once
decide
questioned.
anyway, so there was no reason.
The most
there was no
fire
reason to think
fit-
about it.
Well, the most fire fit that I had as like I think I might have been 3 or 4. I had a sleeveless hoodie
Ooh,
that
before
was
your time.
gray. I had some jeans. They were just like the bluest jeans I can remember. And then I had navy rubber boots and a cowboy hat that was the fit. I wore it everywhere. I wore it to my 3rd birthday party. It's my first conscious memory.
It's clean. It's a clean fit. I respect it.
All right,
That
Mr.
sounds
Cam.
nice, honestly.
What are we thinking on?
That does sound like a nice fit. I'm picturing in my head of you
Yeah.
wearing that cowboy hat.
It was gas.
How did you
I have a massive
They
head too,
made
so it was a
sleeveless hoodies?
huge cowboy hat.
then?
Yes,
It
Yeah, I
seems
did-
like such
it
a
was zip up.
recent thing.
zip up sleeveless
Oh,
hoodie.
was it
I did
fleece?
think those were invented in 2012, but
No, it's cyclical. It's cyclical. The fashion is cyclical. We talked about this. It's coming back.
True.
Well, no, it's not back. It's out now.
Mhm.
If you're wearing short sleeve hoodies out there,
Bro, you were
shout
dressed
out
like
to
the country
you.
guys
Stop
that work
that
out at
now.
Mississippi State. That's what your outfit was.
Yeah, it was heat.
I respect it.
All right, Cam. What are we looking at? We likeies, dislikeys this week.
First off, I likey all the 100 viewers we got on YouTube. Turn up.
Huge.
Yeah.
Turn
Shout
up.
out.
That's
Shout out.
huge.
Shout out to you guys.
We're in several
the real
states.
ones.
Everyone in other states, thanks for listening. I know that
Mhm.
me and Mulvey are the only ones in Mississippi, but we're almost nationwide at this point. If we can get into
Pretty
the
much.
upper 2, and we're in the lower
Mhm.
48, we got it locked down. If we
That's
get in
right.
that upper 2, we're gonna be
Uh-huh.
we're gonna be nationwide.
Nationwide for
Might
sure.
leak into Canada.
A little bit.
I'll
Como
say it.
estás, Mexico?
I'll say it. I want to stay contiguous. Nobody
Keep
in
it tight.
Hawaii or Alaska should listen to this. If you're listening to this, you're Alaska and Hawaii. 1, how did you find this? 2, we don't want you.
Are they on
Get
a
outta
different
here.
server?
Probably riding a moose, Alaskans. Probably riding a pineapple, Hawaiians.
Pineapple.
That's what they
No one
do.
wants
Has to
Here.
hurt.
All right, my likey this week is gonna be Drake memes. They're hilarious. All the Drake memes. His album came out and it flopped. Big old flopper.
Belly flop, my guy.
So
He got
bad.
him out the ocean. He's gasping for water air. Is that what fish do when you pull them out? Are they gasping for water? Did we
Water-
ever?
You said water.
Yeah,
Water.
have we ever thought of that? Our fish just like where's the water as they're in
Thanks,
the air?
They do that little number.
I always understood it as their gills turned water into oxygen, but it seems like if I took them out of the water, it would take a step out of their life, and they'd be
Yeah, they're
better.
not
They'd
have.
be
They
like, "Oh,
don't
this
need
is
the Brita
oxygen. This is
filter
cool."
anymore. You know,
Yeah,
they just drinking
first
that
Brita
tap
filter.
air. They drinking that tap air at that point.
Straight.
that hasn't broken me quite as much as tortillas being Mexican chips, our Mexican restaurant chips
Yeah.
did. But that is
That one didn't.
that is going to
That one got me for about a year. Just thought about it most days.
Which Kurt, my sister-in-law had a baby. I didn't realize babies don't drink water.
No,
What?
only formula. I have a
What?
6-month-old.
That blows my freaking mind. They don't need water.
How do they survive?
Formula or breast milk. Here's the thing: if you give them water too young, it'll hurt them because they can't regulate like salt content. But now that I'm thinking about it, no, he doesn't drink water. I don't think I've ever given him just water.
Dude, that
That's
just
crazy to me.
broke. That just broke me.
My
What?
man's
I know.
my man's mouth is just dry, and we're
Has to be.
sending
Yeah,
milk
he's
down
good.
that way. Come on,
Oh
Yep.
boy.
dude, that is crazy.
It'll be also he's never had like super cold formula. Like he only likes it room temp to warm. So
He's a
That's
little
a rough
bear.
life.
even when
He
he's
is a little
sweaty
bear.
and
He wants
hot,
some porridge.
he's my little bear.
Mhm.
My son's name is Bear for those listening. But yeah, no, they don't drink water. It's crazy. Also, if you mess up their like formula, like if you put too little formula and it's too much water, it'll kill them. Not the first time, but if you do it consistently, it deregulates salt levels in the body and is bad.
Wow.
You ever think?
Somebody's going to correct me on this. I thought this is the way I've been living. I believe that what I
Yeah, if
just
you're
said.
out there,
It's
So-
pretty
could you
wild how
please,
weak.
like,
that's
why
all
don't
it is.
babies drink water? I don't get that.
We're looking that up.
Hmm.
I'll find that out soon.
Yeah, good. It's wild how weak humans are coming out when like most like mammals and stuff just come out. They're fine, They're in the wild.
It's infuriating.
Dude, a baby horse.
That's
could
why
I'm
I'm
truck
telling you, my son, I look at him often. Exactly. I look at him and he'll be like, and I'm like, a horse would be running right now, and you can't, you doo-dooed on yourself and you're screaming.
Soft,
Furious.
soft.
But that brings us all back to my likey. So Drake, the type of guy to go
Drake memes.
peekaboo when he sees a baby at a restaurant. Drake, the type of guy to get
The
behind
guy-
his friend and say, "Guess who?"
Drake the type of guy to say let's dig
Let's
in before
dig
we
in.
Ugh. One of my favorite ones was Drake's the type of guy to say Geronimo before he
Oh,
jumps in the
yeah.
pool as a cannon.
No,
Yes.
did you see the one where they drew him as a cartoon and say Drake, the type of guy to hang in the air before he falls down as a cartoon? And he just
What was
Uh,
the other one? Drake the type of guy to say long time no see when he saw you earlier that day. Kills him.
They're never not funny. I mean, I laugh.
yeah, they
every time.
all,
Oh,
they
dude, it
all,
kills me.
and I feel like Drake is so universally liked by
Yeah,
most people that it's just
Mhm.
like something we can all tag along on and just be like, ha ha.
Liked?
Yeah, I feel like everyone likes Drake.
Oh, I thought everyone thought Drake was
Besides
corny, and that was
Soulja
what the
Boy.
memes were about.
yeah. I mean,
Soulja Boy doesn't like Drake.
You haven't heard that interview? He says Drake. He says Drake stole his flow. Soulja Boy said Drake.
I've
yes.
always thought that.
Yeah.
I've always thought
That
that.
is-
Everyone was saying that already, but yes, he was basically saying that.
We're all
I think
here.
he said Drake stole "Kiss Me Through the Phone" from Soulja Boy,
Ooh.
which
That's a
just
hit.
isn't true. I
But-
mean, it is slapperoonie, but I mean,
Yeah.
Drake didn't steal that.
No, I would never think that.
Well, Cam, what's your dislikey this week?
All right. So this actually happened the other day. I was going to get a Tdap shot, which is a fancy tetanus shot. Is that right?
Get dapped up. Yeah,
Look at
get
my
dapped
dap.
up. I had to get one to have a
Feel
kid.
me?
yes,
Just
sir.
dapped up
Yes,
everyone
sir.
at home.
Dap.
You know that really awkward 5 minutes when the lady at the front sends you back to the doctor's office and you have to sit in the chair and wait for the doctor to come in? It's
Your
like
legs
you're
are
like-
dangling. Your legs are
It's
always
like you're-
dangling.
Well, in this case, I was on a chair on the ground, and you're just like
Oh, yeah,
posing. You're
yeah.
like, how do I want my arm to be when the doctor walks in? Like, they're gonna evaluate my health as they walk in. Like,
Right.
what angle
Yeah.
do I need to be at for them to think I'm like healthy enough to give me the shot and send me on my way? And it's just like you're like almost trying to like impress them with like whatever, however your stance is in there.
Right.
And
that posture.
they've seen so many worse looking people, right? Like they've seen some terrible
Yeah.
stuff in their life.
No doubt.
So it's really not a big deal. But I hate that like 5 minutes where you're like, and like there's a sign like right in front of you that says no cell phones, and you're just like,
yes.
Yes, but what am I supposed to
yeah.
You get on your
Just
phone?
sit
All I
here
can do is
just-
think about my sitting posture and how this
Yeah.
doctor's going
I'm
to
just
remember
supposed
me. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. I'm supposed to just sit here acoustic?
Oh, natural.
It's like,
No.
bro, we doing an acapella meeting here, or I'm
Absolutely
gonna need
not.
a little,
Absolutely
need
not.
a little
You ever sneak the
stimulation.
phone? You ever sneak the phone? Try to get the timing of it.
Oh, I was
Always
oh,
take the
yeah,
phone.
I was.
He'll walk in
I
on
was
me on my
scrolling.
phone.
And then you're
just like,
I watch TikToks.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
guy Pat
I didn't
walked
have
in and
anything.
he was like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" And I was like, "Oh, he's fine. This guy, they found this guy out back with the needle, and they were like, "Can you fill that with the T-dab? Go shoot in this guy's arm."
Dude,
Yeah, what's up, Patty? Come on,
Yes, sir.
give him some scrubs, and he was on his way.
Pat me up.
Make a few bucks.
Nice.
Well, my likey this week is something that I won't experience for a while, but I was thinking about it today. It is a crisp, cool fall morning where you're going to go do something active outside. And what I mean active, I don't mean like go run a marathon or something dumb like that. I mean like go golfing.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're standing on the golf green and it's just like a little chilly. You got a quarter zip on. You're feeling good. It's the sun's coming up, and you know it's going to get warmer later in the day. But right now, it's Monday.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking about that because our AC went out this week, and it is not that in my household right now. And currently, I think it's 79, which is it's like an incubator.
Yeah.
So,
Happened to us a couple weeks ago. I know how. I know what you're feeling, brother.
yeah, and no one's ever chill about AC when I call him. Like I call the guy and he was like, I mean, I guess I might could fix it maybe. And I'm like, what?
Dude,
I might die in my
just
sleep,
come,
I
bro.
heard some AC guys talking at the gym the other day, and they're like, "Shoot, man, you know it's always the attic work in the summer, and then you're outside in the winter, man. They just can't time it up right." It's like these are problems I never thought these guys would have. Like I figured they were just in attics at all times of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know where my AC unit is. I'll say it.
It's outside your
I think it's
house.
outside.
Mine's out back for sure.
As far as I know, that's a fan to cool me off when I'm cutting the grass. I didn't know that could be anything.
That's your outdoor fan.
I'll be honest. Could be hot water.
All
heater.
you
I
gotta
don't know
do
what
is
that
kick
does.
her, and she'll turn right back on, brother.
That's fair.
Mine was out of Freon or coolant. You should check that, brother.
So a little devil's
Put
advocate.
Freon in Brooks' car.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, you.
Well, she put it in her car. She put it in her car. I said that, and I know if she's listening to this, she's gonna call me a liar. She put it in her
toast,
car.
buddy.
I didn't go anywhere
Chivalry
near
is
it.
not
But she
dead.
put it. She texted me.
But you.
No, she's an independent.
But you
woman.
like watched the YouTube video, and she watched it too, and she did it right.
No, I said I'll go get some Freon, and then forgot about it for 2 days, and so she just went and did it, which is kind of the move.
She a boss.
I'm kind of shaking. She is a boss.
A devil's advocate to your point about the morning golf course situation with the nice weather. Of course, the weather's nice. The dew. Your socks. You're gonna go to Geyser Falls
tough.
walking on that grass. You're gonna have some pruny feet by
I play
hole
those in
3.
Crocs.
But you're gonna feel great up top.
Play those dewy mornings in Crocs.
Yeah, just out on the golf
That's why you don't
course,
hit it in the
absolutely
rough, man.
skiing
You just-
around.
Yeah, man. Just don't hit it in the rough.
Yeah,
ever.
Kurt.
Just hit it. I go from the place where I drive to the green
Every
time.
time.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if I've
place where
ever
I
been on a
drive.
fairway outside of maybe driving to go pick up somebody else's ball. Yeah, I know what I'm talking
The tee box or whatever
This
it
guy
is.
knows his
T-box.
golf.
Dang it. Foolish.
But yeah,
I've been
I'm with you,
discovered.
Kurt. So like that first day in September, I'm gonna say it's September 19th, and you walk out
If
and you're
you're
about
lucky.
to go to work.
If you're lucky.
You
No shot. It's cold on
it's
September
not cold.
19th.
Okay,
Sorry,
it's
I'm-
64,
God.
and
Yeah,
like right
you
as
hit the
sun
mid
is rising.
60s.
Right as sun is rising, and it's 64. You
That's
open your garage, and you hear
That's
a little twinkle twinkle, and it's a little bird right there
Yeah.
in your little tree right by you, and you're walking out to your car, and you know it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, it's a feeling I look forward to
agree.
every year.
And it
Every year,
happens
I'm just like,
twice.
that first,
Really, I mean, it happens
yeah, because it gets
twice.
hot again. Yeah.
It's either, and then you
Yeah.
know it's 90 something at lunch. The worst weather is
Right.
when you're a kid
Yeah,
and you go to
that's-
recess with your North Face jacket on because it was 35 degrees in the morning, and then it was 88 whenever you went to go play soccer
Yeah.
at recess.
RIP to my North Face jacket in 5th grade that was taken by the playground in a situation exactly like that. I think it was like 50 that morning.
just left
and I
it.
got a new black North Face jacket from
Ooh.
Buffalo
Ooh.
Peak. I was in 5th grade, and I was hyped on it. I had had it for like 2 days maybe, and I forgot it. And I came back the next day and was like, "Where's my jacket?" And it was gone.
Well, let me tell you, I went through a phase. You know when you're the hiking pants that have the zip offs in the middle at the knee.
Oh, I had some.
Yeah, I used to rock those
I know.
in that exact weather. I would wear the pants, recess, zip them off, go into action mode, and then at the end zip them back on, bro. Perfect solution. Sport mode,
I
4-wheel
feel like
drive.
mine. I don't vividly remember keeping the bottom of those pants for very long as a child. Like, I remember zipping them off the first time. I remember where I was sitting, and I don't remember them ever going back.
I didn't like the
you're probably
zippers
right.
on my
I probably threw it in the book
shins,
bag.
bro. I couldn't stand that little texture.
Yeah.
You're weak and you
I
won't
didn't
survive.
like.
the
Then
winter.
they were well, and my legs are like this long, and so like they were just capris on me. They weren't really.
That's fair.
True.
Dude, those jackets were filthy though,
Some-
huh? You would just go to recess and
Yeah.
throw them on the ground.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah, they were
jacket was
disgusting.
just
I had a-
gross.
Tarnish.
I had a black one, but it was the black like fleece one with the different texture
On
on
the
the
chest,
shoulder
yeah.
and chest area.
sleek.
That was the
Yeah.
move.
One of the best jackets of all time. I mean, they really killed it.
There wasn't a person in
I wore that
Brandon,
with some
Mississippi
Sperry's.
that didn't own one of those jackets in the
Mhm.
year of 2007, 5,
Five.
6.
I was
Some
gonna
in
say
there,
five.
yeah.
No way it was
You-
seven.
yeah.
Somewhere in there.
I mean,
Yeah, it was
everybody
middle school.
had one. The pink ones were. Looking back, I wish I would have got a pink one because that would have been hot in the streets.
The camo, the pink with the camo chest. I think that was a
Mm.
thing. If not, it should
Throwback.
be. Because
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to pull off the pink one, but that one, to me, looking back, was the one that looked the most comfortable at the end of the
I had
day.
a
Yeah, I agree.
I had a magma red one. It was very
Oof.
nice.
I had a red.
So
Do y'all remember those?
Magma.
Magma. I think that was
It
legit the
melting
color
on your
of it.
body.
That was
Yeah,
It is funny
I was
how
melting in it,
outdoor-
too.
Magma's not even red. It's orange.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of like Mulvey's hat. Dude, your hat is magma.
Yeah, it's literally on fire. Like it looks like it's on fire on top of my head.
That's the orangest hat I've ever
Yeah,
It's
seen.
well-
funny how outdoor brands
So,
have to
my
name their
dislike-
colors
oh.
like ash gray
Ridiculous.
and like
Galaxy
yeah,
gray.
like moss,
Yeah.
broken
Moss
moss,
green.
Granite.
puddle
Yes.
of mud, brown.
Hate it.
Puddle of mud brown. Number one.
So my dislike
Yeah.
key this week is being behind anyone that's ordering more than one drink at any restaurant or any more than one person ordering, which I know I've been that person,
Right.
but I know how to order at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've come across more and more people who have never stood in front of a cashier and known what they were getting. There's
It's
a
their
reason
first time.
they put the menu so big so you can look at it in the line.
Right.
And when you get there, you can say, I've been deciding I want the nitro cold brew with sweet cream. Or you can even ask a question or two. But if you're ordering 8 drinks, you gotta know, you gotta have it in your notes app. You gotta have it ready.
Yeah.
Don't try to guess. Don't ask them, what do you recommend? Stop. Stop.
Just get anything. It's fine.
Stop. And then don't get what they recommend. People do that all oh, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
That's my dislike.
People do that at the
Other humans ordering
I'm
food.
guessing
people do
that
that
was
at
at
the shop all the
Starbucks.
time. Like probably.
I'm specifically talking about Starbucks, but I think it goes without saying that it goes for any coffee shop.
Right. Yeah, and that happens at our shop all the time. Like, they'll have someone tell them their drink, but then they won't tell them any of the variables, like hot or ice, what size, what milk, and then they'll do the move where they go to call them, and I'm just sitting there waiting, like, just this. Let's just close it up. We're done. This isn't worth it.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
I dislike
Happens
about
all
coffee
period.
shops and people ordering. I don't like the hyper male. I don't know how to order coffee thing. That's annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just say you want a grande
Yeah,
frappuccino, man.
man.
You don't have to be like a grande.
Yeah,
what is
brother.
the iced one
I
called?
mean, come on.
A latte chino with.
Latte bro.
Let me get the venti
dude,
bronco flowing.
Dude, just say.
Spit it
frappuccino.
out,
You know
man.
It's
It's a
called the birthday
latte.
cake
Good
surprise.
grief, man. You can add a little
There's a-
bit of.
You
You
know,
can add some almond milk, bro. And I had a
It's
barista
fine.
shame me for getting almond milk.
That's weird.
I think almond milk's. I think oat milk's. in
I
it.
know
milk
it's
is in,
out,
but-
but I don't like oat milk. The texture's not good for me.
Oat milk is way less calories, so like I get the almond move, you know.
It's so thick.
Yeah.
I love the oat milk.
It is nice.
I like it. It just slides down.
It
my
adds
throat.
this
The other-
creaminess that I just can't get on board with.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
like
looking
the creamy,
for.
but-
I want it.
Another thing that guys do is if they're ordering for their like girlfriend or wife, they'll be like, "No, let me preface this.
ain't for me.
This is for my wife. I would never.
Let me
order
get
this,
one
but
pinky drinky,
Bro,
but
let me get the
hell,
white
it ain't
mug.
for me.
Yeah, I was behind a guy, and he was trying to get. First of all, this is an annoyance in and of its own right, but like anyone who tries to order off the stupid like secret menu from Starbucks that doesn't exist, that somebody posted on Pinterest, like a cookie dough. But this guy was ordering, and it was clearly what he wanted was the birthday cake drink, and he wouldn't say it. He was sitting there. He was like, "Y'all, it's like it's got little sprinkles in it and stuff, but it's like coffee." And I could hear him like struggling with his, and I wanted to be like, "Bro, say you want the birthday cake.
Okay.
Just say you want it because it's delicious. It's good. It's okay." I do feel goofy whenever I go to like a restaurant though, and I order the. I'm like, can I get the double chocolate doo-doo monster collage?
Let me get the Spank Me Daddy chicken. You're just like, why y'all got a name?
Yeah.
Let me get the ooey gooey muffin. And you're like, why? Why are you name y'all stuff this?
The bussin' chocolate lava cake.
Or like,
I will say there's a donut shop here in town, and they name them. Yes, themed restaurants are tough because they're a donut shop here in town, and they name all their donuts after like old people sayings. And like one of them will be called like the Sap Tapper, which is like a maple one. And then they have one called the like Get Off My Lawn. Like, and I gotta say it when I walk up, but can I get the Get Off My Lawn and the I Like Pina Coladas? And that's a real one too. So like, I feel bad ordering it because I feel like they think I'm making fun of them whenever I say it. Like, they're like, all right, man, you could have just said, give me the strawberry donut.
I legit think about that when I name our drinks. I'm like, I know people are going to have to say this. I want them to go up there and be like, can I get the Twisted Dragon green tea? And like, nah, just, you call it regular names. They just feel okay saying it,
If you make a Twisted Dragon green tea and don't just call it Soapy, you're wrong.
Ooh, Soapy, dude. I love the pink Soapy. Oh my god.
Lizard gun on it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Soapy. I just remembered Soapy. As you said green tea, it was like my brain was like, you remember Soapy?
Dude, Soapy's so good. Soapy good.
Last point on the restaurant, like the restaurant theme name things. We went to this frog themed restaurant, and my wife was getting a Philly cheesesteak, and it was no joke called the Hoppity Choppity Steak Sandwich. And it was so embarrassing to order. I know it had to be.
That's so tough.
Any Smoothie King is really bad about that too. If you go, they have like the Kiwi Breeze or like the Moki Woki Power Punch. You're like,
oh god.
Yeah. You're like, oh gosh.
Why are we gushing?
Anyway, well, so this week we were trying something new. Last week Mulvey talked about getting hyper obsessed with things, and it gave us the idea that each week we should give a topic of conversation that one of us like picks, and we bring it and we kind of like research it throughout the week and then talk about it. And today I've titled mine "The Reality Behind Reality TV Shows." Ooh. Now, I don't know if I think reality TV is probably on the way out in a way. I think it's changing enough to where like Hulu and Netflix are still picking up stuff and things like that. But even it's not the same as it used to be. The reality TV I'm referencing is a pure time in history, specifically from the early 2000s. So I feel like the early 2000s was the golden age of garbage TV shows. Yeah. Like, I'm going to reference some, like Room Raiders, Next, Bachelorette started then. Not to say that they're not good. Yeah. Some people enjoy them. I know Mulva Hill, you're an avid Bachelorette enjoyer.
Huge reality TV guy.
Huge reality TV. So this is going to be good for you. And I do want to preface before we get into this that it is going to break your heart whenever you hear some of these things, because we're going to talk about some things that I, as a kid, really believed. But specifically, I want to ask, do you guys have a reality show of choice, like of all time, top reality show of all time? The one, it doesn't have to be on right now, but the one that changed your life.
Yeah. For me, it would be The Challenge.
Yeah, I knew.
So, they originally started from people who would win like Road Rules or, I can't remember the name of the other one, Big Brother. They would get on there a lot. But, dude,
what is the premise of The Challenge?
So, you all live in a house, similar to a lot of them. You live in a house together. You have a daily challenge where, you compete. Usually somebody wins, and then or maybe a couple people win, and they get to kind of vote on who goes in at the end. Kind of the episode that usually at the end they go into like the gauntlet or the arena and they fight. Don't fight, but they go against another person and someone gets sent home. And then basically at the end of the season, you have a finale where it's like a crazy long, like you run a lot, you have puzzles, you have like physical tasks, but you usually work as like a team or a duo. And it's just like you have to have every skill, including like politicking, working with people, puzzles, quizzes, knowledge, physical. I mean, it's literally everything is tested, and it is just the outcome is just perfect.
That's amazing. It's fake. All right, Mole Over Hill, Cam, what's your reality show choice?
CT movie. That guy's a dog.
Oh, my dude.
Oh my god, that guy's a legend.
He's a bad boy.
His hat choice sucks. He wears those like Peaky Blinders hats and don't fit him, but
yeah, unfortunately,
Is CT on the challenge?
He's like a legend.
I have no idea. I know nothing about the challenge.
If you watch an episode of the challenge from like every season, right, Mulville? Is he in every season?
He goes way back for sure. There's some early days before he was on, but the prime, he's been on most of the prime of the show.
Has he won any of them?
Won 6?
Dude, he's a champ.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think 6.
I feel like you can't play after you win one. You'd be like, all right, that's enough.
And he's won 2 in the last like couple seasons, and he's already
old,
like
man. He's washed,
40,
isn't he?
So he's still
It's very impressive.
He's not actually because he got fat and got washed, but then he got shredded again and is just beating these boys up, baby. It's nice.
It's nice.
So Cam, what's your reality show choice? You said your big reality TV.
It's really hard to choose. I'm really into all of the like fake dating shows because they're just hilarious.
Yeah.
Me and my wife watch them.
When you say fake dating shows,
I mean they're all
fake,
fake, right? It's not real. Like none of those people end up together.
Yes.
But like Love Island, the British version, American version's trash. But the British version's hilarious because of their accents. If you haven't watched it, give it a try. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy concept.
I got a text.
Oh, she's a fine bird. I'd be absolutely gutted if she were to mug me off and pie me.
I got a text.
They say, like, should she pie me?
Go off and pie me, yeah.
Just insane.
So, like, it's a crazy concept for a show because in the UK, it airs every night for the summer. People watch that show every night. It's like an hour long, too, episode.
Every night?
Oh
it's crazy.
God.
So, like, the season on Hulu is like 60 episodes. It is insane. But that's not my favorite.
Impressive.
My favorite all time has got to be Jersey Shore, solely because of Paulie and Vinny. Those two guys came up with so many catchphrases that I still use. Like when Paulie D says "cabs here" in every single way. When he said, "It's my favorite time of the year when the cab's here," that's hilarious because it makes it like it's your favorite time of the year.
Yeah, it is, and it happens every day. But
they get a cab every day because they're not driving anywhere. I can tell you that they've never driven.
No licenses in that bunch.
Nor should they. Based on what I know about them post, because I think one of them's in jail. Most of the rest of them aren't doing so great.
Got out.
I think the DJ
Sitch got out. He got out.
Sitch is out.
Yeah.
He's
it was
out.
Tax fraud.
Nice.
Good
for him.
Shout out Michael, the Situation, whatever his last name was.
I don't know his last name. Something
similar.
Something's Italian. Something's Italian.
Is it racist to make up an Italian last name?
I don't know. Da Vinci.
All right. So my favorite was Pimp My Ride. I was super into Pimp My Ride. I was
my
deep
boy.
in
You wanted a fish
tank.
tank.
You wanted
a fish tank in your Tahoe, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you want it all. You want it all. Here's the thing.
I have seen
Pimp My Ride is horrible for what it did to people's lives. I did not realize
I've seen some of that.
how rough Pimp My Ride was. Exhibit ruined a lot of lives.
It really did.
Including his own.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Pimp My Ride was so damaging. So for those of you that haven't ever watched Pimp My Ride, what it was they would take these people with like these old beat up cars.
Yeah, beaters,
and
for sure.
They would show up and it would be this car that like barely ran, and they would show like a profile of them. They'd be like, "This is Steve. Steve got a crappy car. Ugh, you're gross, Steve." And then they would like show things about Steve. They'd be like, "Steve plays sports, but he's not." I'm sorry. Steve plays sports, but he's not good at them. So he's got all these soccer balls in his car all the time. And this is his house. And they'd show you like a trailer with like no windows and it's just destroyed. And then Exhibit, the rapper Exhibit, everyone's favorite rapper Exhibit, and we can all name an Exhibit song. Mulvey, what's your favorite Exhibit song?
Spinning on wheels like 22s.
Yeah, we love that one. That's a real Exhibit song. And Exhibit was an 8 Mile. That's his like thing. So Exhibit,
his real name was
established
Clarence. I just had to do that real quick.
Clarence. Was that his real name?
No, that was
that was
the
quote
guy,
from 8 Mile.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So Exhibit would then show up to your house,
Right.
and be like, "I'm going to pimp your ride."
Pimp your ride.
And they would freak out. And then what they would do is they would take their car and they would trick it out. But it was always like an Uber specific tricking out to their interests.
Yeah.
So like, for example, one girl said she was a film student and was signing up to go to film school and was saving up money, and she was 19 years old. And so they put a film projector in her car that would rise up out and shoot onto a wall. And you could have DVDs were huge. DVDs were doing real well at this time. And so they put DVDs in, and the DVD would show up. And then they had movie projectors in the back, or movie screens in the back of the headrest. There was a movie screen here. She had a popcorn maker in her console. Like she could put popcorn kernels. Popcorn would like overflow into her lap. And
So dope.
The car looked amazing. It's dope. It's a dope idea. I remember thinking, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part. They didn't do a good job on any of those cars.
It's unfortunate.
They did a very bad job. This guy, his name is Seth, and he was on there, and he did a Reddit AMA where he basically was like, hey, I was on Pimp My Ride. Ask me anything. And they went through and asked him a bunch of stuff. And his was a candy car, okay? Here's the thing. Seth was a large man, probably 3 bills. He was a big boy. And he was very large. Large enough that they went in and they put candy wrappers in his car and said they were his. And he was like, those aren't mine. And they were like, no. We need it. We got to sell it.
Oh, my goodness.
So basically, and then they made him do a line where he was like, yeah, they told me to talk about how miserable I am because I'm fat and I wish I could have candy more often. This was part of it. They showed up and they were like, here you go. This is what you need to do. And so they went in and they put a cotton candy machine in his car. They put like candy bowls in his steering wheel, was like made of licorice.
The early 2000s was wild. They were like, this man's so fat, he can only have one hobby.
Yeah.
Eating sugar.
Eating candy.
Eating sugar. That was the 100% the thought process. Like they were like, oh, you're fat? You must like candy then. And so they went in, and that was the whole premise of the episode. And as a child, I watched that. I was like, that's awesome. Well, this dude came out, and he was not happy. On top of that, none of the stuff that they put in his car like continued to work after they left. It was all badly wired. And he said the car didn't run before, and then when they left, it still wouldn't run.
Oh,
like it didn't work right. They didn't fix anything internal. It was all just like they were like, we put a cotton candy machine. I don't know what you wanted from us. You want your car to drive? That's dumb.
Get you some candy, but
it shoots Skittles out of the AC units, but it does not drive.
I always pictured it as like that science project
crazy.
that you put together to work for that one instant while it was being graded, and then it would never work again.
Yes.
Like that's exactly what I picture.
Yeah.
That was exactly what they did. Well, there's a guy on YouTube who goes around and tries to find like old Pimp My Ride cars, and he bought a minivan that was like set up, and he like pulled some of the wiring out, and he was like, this is horrible. Like it's a fire hazard.
Oh my goodness.
It's a wonder this car is still working, because if you turn on these speakers, it will kill you. Like that was kind of where he was at. So like Pimp My Ride, great example. Even worse example is HGTV shows. I don't know how into HGTV you are. My wife loves it.
I like Hometown.
Yeah. What is Hometown?
This little cute couple
down the road from
is remodeling their hometown of Laurel, Mississippi.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
It's sweet.
So here's the thing about HGTV shows. Y'all remember whenever they would like show up and like remodel a house on any of the shows, and it was kind of the Pimp My Ride thing. Like you said, Cam, they would boil your personality down to one trait. There was this kid that he's like, I'm learning how to play guitar, and they made him a Gibson room, like his bed was a Epiphone Les Paul.
I remember that. Yeah.
They went through and like hung records. And they were like, "This is your room now." And he was like, "I don't even know if I want to keep playing guitar." And they're like, "This is who you are."
Gotta.
The only guitar he had was
So
like
whenever-
the first act from Walmart that they sell in a box.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, no, he got to go to the Gibson factory and get a custom like $5,000 guitar. But
That's pretty sick.
here's the thing: they don't get to keep any of the decorations.
Oh,
You have to pay for the decorations.
wow.
They're like, "We decorated it," and then you have to pay for it on the back end, or they just like load it up and take it out because it's got to look good for
Right.
TV. Also, whenever they do your house, you sign a 5-year contract not to sell your house for 5 years. You're not allowed to sell it.
dang.
So some of the things that were happening is people were getting robbed constantly that were on these shows. Like they would be on these shows and people would show up and just rob the house like the week after because they were saying, well, you basically broadcasted their location to everyone and they have all this nice stuff. Also,
Mhm.
right.
they couldn't keep up with the taxes. So people were getting evicted
Yeah.
like a year
That
later
happened in
because they couldn't
Brandon.
pay the new property tax. It was wild.
Yeah, so the people that they pick on the show are usually lower income, and because their houses aren't great, and they can redo them and make them look great. But then property taxes go up, and they can't afford them anymore, which is rough. And there was actually a house in Brandon, like right by our school, where this happened. And I mean, they couldn't live in the house long at all. Honestly, just wild.
Y'all remember all the signs and stuff everyone made for the like decent looking guy who spiked his hair? What was his name? Does anyone remember his
Oh,
name?
yes.
Sean. It had to have been Sean.
It
Or
was
something like that. But it was like, welcome,
Yeah,
Sean. And he, I mean, they don't fix the house. It's like a bunch of guys.
His name was
sent-
Ty.
Well,
It's Ty Pennington. Ty Pennington.
Yes, my guy.
Yeah,
Ty.
I've been researching.
Yeah.
He was
I know
not a
Zen
good
pouches
person.
weren't
So
a thing, but
no, they weren't.
his
But
whole
he
crew was
definitely
just
he's
ripping
like a human
Sidney
embodiment.
Crosby's all day, so it wasn't him.
He's in the
fixing
frame.
it.
Sensational. He so one of the things that I read on like the HGTV like person was talking about their experience was that he stayed on the bus like his like lavish tour bus the whole time and would come out just in time to get some camera shots of him like holding a drill and just acting sweet. And apparently he got like super drunk at the local bar and like made a whole like just looked like such a douche in front of everybody.
Wow.
And so everybody in the town like hated him. And then on Move the Bus that day, he was like talking about how much the town loved him and all that. And apparently that was not the case.
That's
so
crazy.
that was also one of the crazy things is like the stars, which I mean, we could have guessed this, but the stars aren't the ones doing the actual renovating. Like they're like walking in to the work crews like working, and then they'll like pick up a hammer and be like hee hee hee.
They do demo
and
day
walk
and they
out
just smack the wall and then they
one
dip.
time and walk out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that's the whole like shtick of like most of these reality shows. In fact, there was a dude who he was on a reality show called like Love something. It was like Science of Love. And it was, they took like 1,000 people, 500 girls, 500 guys, and took them to this place, this center. And they basically scientifically were going to prove who was the soulmate. And this one's funny, but like at the end of it, they got 500 men and only 499 girls showed up, and his girl didn't show up. The one he spent all week there like getting tested, and at the end they were like, yeah, she went home after like the first day.
Oh no.
Oh,
And
bad.
so he was like,
catastrophically.
So
Just-
bad, dude.
Scientifically proven to be alone is tough. That's a tough look.
Yeah, I mean just cold hard facts that you weren't meant to have
They
somebody.
brought science into
So
it,
tough.
man. They were mixing beakers,
Yeah.
and it just came out empty. Just this guy's
Just
not
you, my
compatible
guy.
with anyone.
Yeah. But the reality TV show, like the rabbit hole is so deep because apparently it just gets crazier and crazier. Like the way that people were treated, the way that they like, even like the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, like they know who's being chosen before it happens, before the rose ceremony. Like essentially they're told like the week of like, hey, you're going to be the villain this week and you're probably going to get voted off. Like you're going to need to do this on the dates and stuff, which how awkward would it be? Like you don't realize it, but like a whole camera crew is like surrounding you while you're just like kissing on a blanket and just.
Or like when they go out in public and they'll be doing like a date like in public and they're just like they'll be like getting served ice cream from a cart, and then they'll just be like leaned up on his cart macking, dude. I'm like, this is so weird.
The
So
funniest
weird.
part is when they're in like another country and like a Danish man
Yeah.
is like standing
Yes, that
there
was-
watching them just absolutely go to ham on their faces.
Yeah.
Would you like those pastries? And they're like,
Hello,
oh, sorry.
welcome to the
Our
boat race.
accents are so bad.
Like they always do some extreme sport, and then the guy has to stick around because he was like their safety
Yeah.
person, and they're still just there, just getting
macking.
it on.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like as like a culture, we watch reality TV not because we think it's real, but like we watch it like we would a show, right? Like I'm
It's
not
entertainment,
watching it
yeah.
thinking like
Yeah.
this is how love really is. There are people who watch that. Here's a reality show that is uber scripted that blew my mind, and it will break your heart because this is probably one of my favorite reality shows of all time. Robin Big, completely scripted.
No,
Really?
Every bit of it. Yep. There's some improv lines and stuff, but they
Right.
like wrote it all out. They didn't actually live together. Big did not. He
surely
lived in
they
his
wrote
own
special
house.
buddies together, though.
They very well
Surely
may
they did
have.
That song is a
But
banger, dude.
We're buddies.
It's a great-
We're buddies.
so it all
We're
started
buddies.
too.
That's all it was, I think. Were there
Buddies.
other lyrics?
I mean, Bobby Lights is always
Oh,
going to be
dude.
forever.
Yeah.
Just Bobby Light.
Is that with John
Lights
Mayer?
out.
Is that
Lights
who-
out. No, John Mayer was I'm
Got
Sorry,
100 dirty
Mom.
girls.
Oh,
and you know
yeah.
what they about?
Lights out. Lights
Rob
out.
Dyrdek. There's a whole different
Very bright.
very bright. That was it. The thing is, like, Rob Dyrdek, there's a whole different side. I didn't get into this as much, but I did learn that he like pretty much owns MTV now. Like,
Yeah, I have
that's the
read about
reason they
that.
have to show. This reason Ridiculous is on like
27 hours a day. They added
Yes.
3 hours to show it.
Yeah.
he literally
Exactly.
like his contract is just he now owns it. But that was a crazy thing is that his started from whenever he was a skater, DC skater, like
Mhm.
that was his main job. He
Had his
hired
shoes,
Big
bro.
Black as
So-
a security person. And they like faked the videos of him like fighting cops. Like those cops that he was fighting were actors.
Oh,
paid
they were
actors.
actors. Oh.
Yeah.
I knew that they paid
I-
Rob initially, like to like be his bodyguard, but I
Yes.
thought the cops were real, and that hurts.
Nope. They pulled the. I'm pulling the curtain back, baby. We're
What
we're
about
done
Speedy
being
Claxton,
sheeple.
the turtle, man?
No, he was a
Speedy
paid
Claxton.
actor too.
Speedy
Not Speedy Claxton.
Claxton.
Yeah.
Speedy Claxton.
No, and he was on that turtle was on PEDs. That's how he won the race.
He
Bro,
was
don't tell me
juicing.
that.
Wow.
There was an episode where Rob and Big they took Big Black and him went and found a turtle, and they were getting into turtle racing. And Speedy Claxton was caught for blood doping their turtle.
Blood, not
So,
the EPO, brother.
Sammy-
Dang it.
No, that's not true.
Sammy Shelson
I don't know anything about the turtle.
instead of Sammy Sosa. I was the
Sammy-
only
Shammy-
turtle.
I can't
That
even
was
say
the
that.
only. That was the only turtle pun I could think of. I don't know.
Sammy Shelsha? Shelsha? I can't even say it. That was
That's a
It
impressive.
tongue
was awful.
twister.
It wasn't good.
That's a
That was
two-word
rough.
tongue
I'm
twister.
sorry.
It's definitely impressive. So here's my question. You have an opportunity to go be on a reality TV show, but it is as it's presented, a reality TV show.
Right.
Like it is what it is. Also, this is just side note, Survivor, they have like craft services right off, but the contestants aren't allowed to have it. Like
That's brutal.
they're actually surviving, but they're like watching like the cameraman like eat a Snickers while they're just like dying of hunger because they didn't win the challenge where they had to throw the bean bags in the hole. So now they got to eat bugs.
That would be
Like,
brutal.
it's-
I would
it's
kill
tough.
somebody and take their food because
It's tough.
I couldn't do that.
They're sponsored by Applebee's now, so all the
Dude,
craft
that was-
services is
yeah.
Applebee's. They like,
I was gonna bring that up.
Almost
That
one
was
of the
hilarious.
challenges-
Time?
oh, dude,
I think it
there's
was
a
a
video of
challenge.
Jeff Probst. Yeah, it might have been, and they were like, the special reward this week is Applebee's.
and they were like, yeah.
They had Burger King. They had Burger King one time too, dude. That's lit.
I'd be like, I guess I'll just starve because I don't
Yeah.
want that either.
One girl's a vegetarian. One girl's a vegetarian that won that daily challenge, and she's like,
Oh no!
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Applebee's salad is
Survivor-
literally just the chopped up lettuce and tomatoes that they get when they're making the burgers, like the a little bar tray at the bar with all the spilled
Yeah.
drinks.
Whatever
Search.
catches,
Sport.
yeah.
Like that's all
For
an
sure.
Applebee's salad is stuff they've chopped up to make other
Has
stuff.
anyone ever ordered an Applebee's salad? Anybody ever gone to Applebee's and be like,
I've never looked
because
at
if you're at Applebee's, you're not worried about what you're eating. You're getting the honey mac and cheese chicken tender thing. Like that's it.
They
Or the
had
quesadilla
an
burger.
unreal
Quesadilla burger.
deal. They had an unreal deal like a month ago where if you got a burger, you got 6 wings for $1. Just
Oh my
That's incredible.
gosh!
It was
So can I get 12
unreal.
wings for $2?
Well, you'd have to order another
With-
burger. You'd have to get a burger
Gotcha.
and
So
fries.
it's per burger. I thought
Yeah,
I
you got to get a burger
With
and fries, and then they give you wings for $1.
It's pretty
If
sick.
you want to
though.
go down a deep rabbit hole, Survivor it's had like 50 seasons or however many.
Mhm.
But Survivor, you can go down the rabbit hole, and it's like there's people who hacked challenges that were like essentially cheating. But like one of them was they had a basketball player, and
Mhm.
one of their challenges was throwing a ball into a hoop, and he won. And
Of
all the
course.
other contestants were like, "What? That
That's-
seems unfair."
A little bit,
But-
yeah.
People would like hack the challenges and stuff, and like, but all that to be said, the reality TV is a crazy rabbit hole, and the truth of it is that it's a lot darker because there are plenty of people who never got paid. Like there was one lady who was on a Martha Stewart kitchen makeover thing, and they said they sent her on a vacation, but instead they just told her like, "Hey, you got to get out of your house for a week." And then on the show, they used a picture from her vacation the year before, and we're like, "We sent her on a vacation. This is a picture from it." And she was like, "I had no idea they were going to do any of that. They asked for that picture before
Wow.
they told me anything." So, not that she was promised a vacation or anything, but they definitely lied about it. So,
Wow, that's
it's
unreal.
crazy. What reality TV show would you be on if it was as presented? Like as you see it on TV, what would be the one that you're like, I could win that, or I want to be a part of that?
It's a good question.
Mine's a
I
throwback,
do often think about being on the challenge. Yeah.
Do y'all remember that show on Nick with the Mount? What was it called? It was like the kids were competing, and like it was basically like almost
It was like
like
Lost
American
Temple or
Ninja
something?
Warrior, but it was like yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I gotta find
Yeah.
it. It wasn't all that, but it was another show.
hmm Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. It's been a minute since I thought about
Find
it,
it.
but
This one is one of my favorites. I was on set for filming Ghost Hunters.
you are.
And no. I'm reading it. It says I was on set for filming Ghost Hunters,
Uh-huh.
and they were investigating an upper level at the Buffalo Central Terminal when they hear a disembodied, in quotes, voice say, "Get out!" It was actually the property manager on the lower level yelling at some homeless people to clear out.
Oh my
And
god.
they left it in the show. They left it in the show and said that it was
Wow.
a ghost. They knew it was them screaming
That's
at the
crazy.
homeless. But that's like reality TV to a T.
Yeah.
So the reality TV show that I would be on would be Survivor, and I would be the villain. And I've already decided that because I think the villain is the funniest role, and it's the role you
It
don't
is.
you don't ever win, you never win, but you make it to like the top 4 just
Right.
by personality alone, just
Yeah.
by being the worst.
They carry the
I wanna-
show. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think I would be a great heel on a show. I think I would.
I
Kill
have
it.
to agree.
Just
Yeah.
mean.
I definitely have thought
Yeah.
about being on the challenge, like just training, like how I would go about it. Like I would study different puzzles and different quizzes, and like I would run like this, and yeah, I think it'd be lit. But I also hate heights, and they always have height stuff. So
I was about to say I have only seen like one clip from the challenge, and they were on these like tight ropes across a canyon.
yeah, it's a lot of that, and that would be my demise. And there's no training for a fear of heights. You know what I mean?
No, you can't get better. You're gonna be scared still.
Yeah. I'd be the person that's like, I can't do it, and then I just don't do the challenge, and I go in the arena that week and lose. So
Well,
So the name of
so
my
yeah,
show
that
was
is
actually
my-
Legends of the
Oh,
Hidden
go.
Temple, by the way. And the
Yes,
reason I was doing it is
Legends
because
of
I
the-
think win or lose you get slimed, and I've always wanted to get slimed. I don't know why.
I have to.
It's always been a dream
I
of
want
mine.
to so bad. I would
So,
kill
yeah.
to be slimed, but I
Or,
want
like,
that
late-
real Nickelodeon concoction. I don't want. I don't want
I want it
anything.
to
I
stay
don't want to
on
make
me.
slime.
Right.
Mm.
I've always wanted
I
to know
want
if it was
that,
lime pudding. You know?
Dude,
It
I
was
feel
not.
like it kind of has the consistency of the slightly warm sweet and sour sauce at Chinese buffets.
I hope so.
But like not the temp, but
stuff's great.
the viscosity.
Yeah, the viscose.
You know what
being
I mean?
being slimed. I want that, and this is a throwback. And it is. Remember on Teletubbies, they get that pink stuff from that one place.
Yeah.
I've always wanted it. I've always wanted it. I've
That's a
always dreamed
creepy
about
show, dude. Have you ever
It.
seen?
Weird show.
I saw a picture the other day of like the guys with the suits with their like just their heads
it's
off,
wild.
I don't need to
sitting
see
in the
that.
field. So
I don't
creepy,
like that.
dude.
Hate
Dark.
it. Hate it.
So yeah,
All right,
either
anyway,
Hidden
so-
Temple or a later season of Fear Factor when they were scared to like make people sign waivers to do the worst stuff. Like you just do like
Yeah.
the mid stuff that like a cockroach crawl on your face.
Yeah.
Like they were eating cockroaches in like episode 1.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
by the end of like Fear Factor, when Joe Rogan was bald, it was like yeah, this one's just gonna crawl up your arm. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would do that.
I could do that.
Right.
Never forget that one of our cultural icons nowadays, like a voice of the people, for the people, of the people, whatever, however you feel about Joe Rogan, doesn't matter. He started on Survivor. He was the host of Survivor. That was his launching pad. So,
You mean
Fear Factor.
not Survivor,
Factor?
Fear Factor.
Yeah.
Dang it.
that is
How
wild.
foolish
We'll
of me.
cut
Jeff
that out.
Probst has
We'll
been
cut that
holding
out.
down Survivor. Jeff Probst, I think he's the next great podcaster. I hope. He doesn't
Good.
have one yet, but he should.
Seems like he'd
That
be an
guy-
It
interesting
worked for
dude.
one guy.
My guy TJ Lavin is the host of the Challenge, former BMX rider,
Big
Real.
Teach.
real dude. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Is
he's
he
got
just
to be
like
the
a-
most famous former BMX rider ever.
Ever. He's the only one I can name. I just learned his name now.
another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I
other
couldn't
one-
picture-
Dave-
I couldn't
David
picture
Mira.
another's face.
David
Bob
Mira.
Burnquist.
David Mira, maybe is another one.
Does
David
Bam
Mira?
Margera count as one?
He's not doing well. Speaking of Life of Bam, that was all scripted. Viva la Bam.
Got to be.
Well,
yeah,
now with
that
the
was
knowledge
all
you've
just-
given us, I would believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. Apparently, like they were all in on it. Like even Don Vito, his uncle, who
Oh
I
wow,
thought
yeah.
was the funniest person.
Yeah. That guy he's a real one.
Dude, there was one episode where he took his sock off, and they couldn't script how horrible. Unless they put prosthetics on his feet, he has the worst feet I've ever seen.
They did Robin Big Black's feet were also like that when he
Ugh.
took it off and took him to like a manicure or something.
Oh yeah, dude, they took out like a sander.
Yes, and that was a bad sight to
Industrial
see.
grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So-
rough.
Anyway, that's my deep dive on
That's a
reality
good one,
TV
dude.
shows. Next week, I think Mulvey's bringing us with something new, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I
won't
got
say
a
what
little
it is,
something
'cause
something up my sleeve. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. So that being said, if you have any questions, or maybe you are on a reality TV show and you want to tell us about it, please tell us. Email us at welikeythatpod@gmail.com. We want to hear about it.
Yeah.
So anybody else got anything on reality TV shows before we jump into We Vibies?
Trying to think. I think it's about it
The house
for me.
blew up. Remember? Y'all remember that house blowing up right by the house that they did the
Oh yeah,
home makeover at?
No.
It just exploded.
Wait. Was it not the home makeover? Was it not a response to the explosion?
No, I think
No,
those were
bro.
separate
This one
events.
just blew up like down the street from it.
Dude,
That
it was
neighborhood
Kevin Hall's
cursed.
house. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Whoops.
It
Yeah,
was
no,
Kelvin Hill's house.
That blew
Right.
up?
No, I was just altering his name. Just
Oh, gotcha.
whatever.
Dude, it blew. That house exploded. I'll never forget it. I was in PE. I was outside.
I
and
was
it like
too,
shook
actually.
the ground. It
Yeah.
changed me.
It was
It's a
terrifying.
little dark. It's a little dark, but you're like when you're in 5th grade and an explosion happens, your only like memory of explosions is 9/11.
Yeah,
So like
no,
in my
yeah.
mind,
It was
plane
2002.
had flown into the school.
Yeah, no, that
like,
makes sense.
like when I was sitting at my desk and I heard it, and like, I mean, I don't know where. If did y'all's desk like leave the ground or am
I was
just
outside.
I was also at
shaking.
recess, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember my desk like leaving the ground, which when
It was
you're in
insane.
elementary school, I mean, but yeah, it was wild.
I also
Yeah.
remember every girl in my class just screamed, sobbing. We like walked up the hill.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, we all
scared,
walked
too.
up that hill. It was weird.
I was
Yeah,
not
we
scared. I don't know if I understood the gravity. I was just like, that was pretty crazy, guys. And I was just sitting there. My mom couldn't come pick me up till like 4. I was by myself until 4. And that
Yeah.
I forget
same.
the excuse they gave for why that happened. Like a gas truck had turned over into the house and their stove
Yeah, it was
was
something
on
like
or
that.
something. It's a big conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's
a conspiracy
true or
theory,
not.
actually.
What happened at Kelvin Hill's house?
Yeah, if you have any info, please also send it our
Right
way.
by a
We gotta
school.
get to the bottom of this.
Why was a gas tanker driving by that school? There's no gas station there.
Yeah.
No, a lot of questions. A
You
lot of
know,
questions,
now
not
that
a
we
lot of
think-
answers.
maybe that's what this podcast is going to turn into. We're going to investigate this incident,
We're an
We're gonna
investigation
hunt
pod.
down what happened to the exploding
and
house.
it's all the guy from
Yeah,
Extreme
when I was-
Home Makeover's fault with the
Ty Pennington.
Frohawk.
He was
100%.
there the most recently.
That's true. That's true. He was very close to that same house.
Ty
good
Pennington's
point.
not a good person. I'm standing by that. That's
I
going
could
to
tell
be
about
my.
the tips. You know, I
You
I
knew.
don't trust him.
You knew, but Ty Pennington's not a good person. So that's what we learned today.
Yeah. He's our prime
Uh,
suspect.
All right, we're gonna jump into our Wee Vibies. Cameron,
Yes, sir.
what you got? What you vibing to
Dude,
this
I
week?
have a wild one off the cuff,
Okay.
crazy.
Let's
Do you
hear
guys
it.
listen to? You guys don't listen to the radio, huh?
Occasionally. When I
So-
don't feel like connecting my
Podcast all.
phone.
I
pods.
get it. I get it. I'm not cool like that. But sometimes I got the radio on when I'm driving to work in the mornings, listening
Mhm.
to little sports talk, you know. Or
I do
maybe a
listen-
little Jack FM
What's the Charlemagne's morning show? Breakfast
Breakfast
Oh, I don't
Club.
know.
Breakfast Club. Yeah, I listen to that sometimes. But it's only
That was
when
I
I
listen to
Easy name to
Weenie
pull
in the
out of
butt. Welcome. What's up? What's up with the radio? Whoa.
Right.
hate that.
Anyway, so there's this Charmin commercial on the radio, and it has an absolute classic song as its jingle, and it's just a
Gosh.
jingle, the whole one. And man, does it get me going in the morning. I'm going to play it for you now.
Sing it.
Let's hear it, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, my
Them bears
buns.
be doo-dooing, bruh.
It's got my booty believing.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Dude, does that not
That's a-
slap?
That's
it
a
says
vibe
I
for sure.
got my booty believing.
It says Charmin feels good on my buns, and then it says something like 6 rolls in one. Charmin's got my booty believing, man.
That's incredible.
If that
That's
didn't
a
get you ready
slap.
to tackle the day, I don't know what else would.
I agree.
That's hard, dude.
I gotta-
That's
this-
hard.
This is not my vibe of the week, but have you seen the Virgin Island or Virgin tour, like a
Mm-mm.
Virgin cruise ship commercial?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Mhm.
It's got the
Not
little
a
kids
Verge.
singing, talking about, it's a non-kids cruise, and so they can't go on the cruise, and they're sad, and the song is incredible for the commercial. I just recommend you look that up because it's a bop
we
as
can
well.
look that up. I'll pot it in for
All
us.
right, sweet.
My wee vibey this week is I've been vibing hard to J.M. Ross. And
J.M. Ross, my God.
Okay, let me pause here. J.M. Ross is
This is
a
gonna
musician
be a bully. You're
that
gonna bully him.
we
Don't-
know. I'm not bullying him. I'm being genuine. I'm being
It's a
genuine.
plug.
I really have been vibing to J.M. Ross. He's got a song called Paper Boat that is an honest slapper. So if you're listening to this, go stream Paper Boat by J.M. Ross. Trust
That is a good
me,
one.
it slaps. Also Jackson about his not hometown. And I don't remember Stay is a good one. But he's got a new song coming out this Friday.
He does.
And I'm really
Listen.
excited about it. It's called Easy. But yeah, I've been vibing to J.M. Ross.
Let's go.
And I really genuinely this week, went on my phone on Spotify, clicked on it, and played it. And so I was listening to it. It wasn't just like
such a crazy review. Everyone's gonna be like, I gotta go listen to this guy. He painfully
No,
opened
I'm
Spotify
telling you.
and played his music.
and I'm telling you, J.M. Ross on Spotify, incredible, very good song, Paper Boat, highly recommend.
He has the voice
Shout
of an
out.
angel, and
Fingers
he's
of the
written a lot
devil.
of really good songs. Like, his voice sends you to the heavens, and his fingers straight to hell. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
talking about, baby.
He's written
Nice.
classic songs like "Sweet Caroline," "Gives You Hell." He tried to convince me he wrote in middle school. It was clearly an All-American Reject song, but he wrote it down on paper, so we all believed him for
Gotta
about
be.
an hour and a half before we heard
Listen,
it on
man.
radio. So
Stream
It's a good guy.
Stream JM Ross. It's worth listening to.
Yeah, he's a real one.
If you like our pod, we may get him on here one day. Just let him. Just he's a great dude, but
he'll perform it
you need to go
live.
stream his stuff. Yeah, he'll perform it. I don't know.
That's
I
right.
don't know what we're allowed to do. All right, Mulvey, we vibey.
So I got a pretty good one, and I found it because of actually Instagram. It was a good ad. It just started playing her song, but her name's Allison Ponthier, I think is how you say it. Ponthier,
Okay.
Ponthier. It's called Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I actually just found this like 2 days ago. But if you like Casey Musgraves, it's in the same vein. The wifey and I called that genre of country sparkle country. It's just got a little magic to it. It's got a little magic to it, but it's a lot like Casey Musgraves. And yeah, it's a vibe. I think it's got an EP with it, and it's all.
Can you say her name? Say her name again and the name of the song, just so that our listeners can grab that.
Yeah, Allison Ponthier. Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Here's the thing:
that's an indie name.
That is indie.
Yeah.
Well, that's the name of an actual cemetery. It's where all the like Hollywood people who founded Hollywood are buried. So that's pretty cool.
Didn't know that one.
Yeah, Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Look it up. They do a film festival there every year. I've always wanted to go. That's so sick. Here's one of the crazy things that you're going to learn is that I think Mulvey's probably always going to have like an actual song you should go listen to. Cameron probably is going to have a country song that's like a ridiculous country song that he listens to ironically, or one of the greatest jingles I have ever heard.
Facts,
I'm going to feather between the two this week. I am being genuine when I say go stream JM Ross, Allison Ponthier, and get your butts believing on that Charmin commercial. So
love it.
One more thing in relation to my we vibey. It also has to deal with like flatulence. So me and my wife Kimmy went to go visit her sister who just had a baby in the hospital. Right, she was on the 4th floor or something, so we used the elevator. We're coming back down. We walk into that elevator, man, and someone had released the most heinous fart I have smelled in quite some time. Like it was not meant
the
for
Kraken, bro.
Yeah, it was not meant for other humans, and it was just sitting in that elevator. Just
not a lot
cooking.
of airflow in the
elevator. Nothing's moving around in there, and
not
it
enough.
was just sitting in there, just still.
Festering.
And you walked in, and it was in your nose, and we were wearing masks. I mean, it was tough. So we get in, and we're like, okay, this smells really bad. Like, let's get down. And we stop one floor before our stop, and a guy gets in. And it's a doctor.
No.
And he kind of looks at us.
He's like, this guy.
And he turns around and faces the door, and our worst nightmare is imagined. This man thinks that we just blew that thing up.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he's like sitting, and then he looks down, and he's like trying to get through it too, like we were. I mean, we were both like, all right, try to breathe through your mouth, you know. And he goes, and Kimmy goes, like audibly, and he was yeah, you guys have a good day, and walked out of the elevator. It was one of the worst gas chamber. I mean, there's been worse gas chambers in history, but this was the worst one I've ever experienced.
There have been worse gas chambers in history. Yes,
this was the worst one I've ever experienced.
This is number 2 for sure.
That was rough.
Definitely number 2.
That was a situation I never thought I'd be in.
Yeah, that's an awful situation.
Having to take the blame for someone else crop dusting. That's ridiculous.
I will say that I learned a hard lesson about airplane seats. They're really absorbent. And when you fart into an airplane seat for like 5 hours and then you stand up, it releases. It's like, and everyone knows.
Were you
everyone knows.
Just farting into the seat?
You're just sitting there, you're just vibing, you're listening to your podcast, you're watching your movie, and you're just, your booty's telling all your secrets into the airplane seat, and then when you stand up, turns out the airplane seat's not so good at keeping your secrets, and now everybody knows that you had Popeyes for lunch. So.
The airport Popeyes is elite, bro. It's the crispiest
so
Popeyes. How do they do it in the airport, man?
They keep it tight.
And fries are extra hot, baby.
Well, boys, I'm thinking that we're good and can go ahead and wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Anybody got anything else?
Cue it.
Nothing but
outro song.
We appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Please rate, like, and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Pushing T. That's all I can say is just keep pushing T.